Good evening. Louis C. Gross II, educational consultant for Manhood Shelter Incorporated. Got a news flash for you. Felony-friendly companies. I'm going to say it again, because some of y'all need to be working instead of sitting around watching TV all day. Ace Hardware, Aramark Food Service, AT&T, Best Western Motels, Burger King, Canon, Delta Faucet Company, Kroger, or Food for Less, IBM, General Mills, ones that make Wheaties, Fruit of the Loom, Save-A-Lot Foods, 7-Up, Walgreens, Xerox, Walmart. Once again, felony-friendly companies: Ace Hardware, Aramark Food Service, AT&T, Best Western Motel, Burger King, Canon, Delta Faucet Company, Kroger, or better known as Food for Less, IBM, General Mills, Fruit of the Loom, Save-A-Lot Foods, 7-Up, Walgreens, Xerox, Walmart. These are companies that are high ex-offenders. So when you run around talking about you can't find a job, I just gave you what? About, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 situations where you get a job. If you apply yourself. If you get yourself together. It's right here. Opportunity is here. Opportunity favors a prepared mind. Is your mind prepared? We're going to talk about the mind. Oh yeah, the brain weighs 3 pounds, consists of 80% water. You can remember 7 items at one time. Why are you failing? 2 reasons: procrastination and lack of application. You put out what you can do today till tomorrow. Man. And then you want to apply yourself. And by the way, you as a role model, your child sees that, and he absorbs and executes what you do. So if you're executing nothing, then he's doing nothing. Remember, if the input's garbage, what's the output? You can answer that. Oh, in January, 55 murders. In February, 48 murders. And check this, in March, as of today, 9 murders and counting. That means there's a murder each day in March. And the day is the 10th. Man, Jesus. You know, you're at risk. You have those. Who's going to protect you? And this has been known for a long time. The manpower in terms of the police department was at, when it was strong, at 13,500. Your mayor knew that at 12,000, you were 1,500 down. And only because it became scrutinized through not only the community, but worldwide, was even the effort made. It's really a shame. It's a shame. And you know what? It's a shame that you're apathetic about what's going on in your community, in your town. Man. And that's the reason why the politicians keep doing what they do. There's a book called Intellectualism and the Retreat from Politics. Very easy as an analogy. Look at City Hall. Look at Springfield. Especially Springfield and City Hall. It goes to the Peter principle. Once an individual reaches their level of incompetence, they plug up the whole system. Look at your leaders and look at the systems. A budget going on 2 years hasn't been resolved. And you're paying these people. You are. So who's the fool? They sure think you are. Quote of the week. One purpose of education is to improve your community and to leave society in a better situation for the next generation called your future or your legacy. I'm going to repeat that. One purpose of education is to improve your community and to leave society in a better situation for the next generation called your future. Or some other people know as your legacy. Your legacy. You know, it's not what you take out of the world, it's what you leave behind. That is your legacy. And the generation is the future that you're supposed to be leaving something for. Carl, you on the air, go ahead. Carl, you on the air.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
This is great. Yeah, I was in the hospital last week, so I missed you.
Yeah, I missed you.
But let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
How in the heck is anything going to get done?
I don't know. For the life of me, I don't know.
When the people that you vote in don't give a damn.
Yep.
That the mom and dad, if you have one, don't give a damn. The police don't give a damn.
They definitely don't.
You know, because they're going to go over there. They're going to go over there, get shot. And if they shoot somebody, what happens? They ain't go on trial. Not
nope.
For guys that are shooting at them. Oh, no.
We're going to cover up, probably.
You know, you can't stop and frisk them.
Right.
The superintendent of police did the right thing. Man, just put him in jail for a long time. Forget about what people say. If they go out there and shoot somebody, they get 3 years.
Yeah, I know. They right back out to shoot somebody else. You know so this is crazy.
Us, we got to start thinking smart and giving the vote to people that we know are going to help us. Because all them sad sacks on the 5th floor right now.
It's a sad sacks.
Mayor Rahm Emanuel.
Yes.
I'm going to do a damn thing for us people, and I'll tell you why. You got 3 big projects going on downtown.
Okay.
Right? Not one Hispanic and not one African-American construction company are on them.
Mm.
Or you might see a Mexican or a black man with a hammer.
Yeah, token.
The company doing anything. And then they wonder why our youth are like they are. At least we got a little bit of an excuse. But until we get these people out of here, you might as well, you can stand up there with you 24 hours a day.
Yeah, you're right, Ray. You're right.
Because it's a shame. All right, my man.
Hey, thanks, Ray. Thank you very much. That was Ray, who was very insightful in terms of what he was referring to, in terms of City Hall and those people there who, I would be ashamed, really. It used to be a time if you were a doctor or a lawyer, you were looked up to, even a policeman. Irish, either a cop or a priest. Both have been tainted. And you know what? The truth needs to be heard. A lot of times people don't want to deal with the truth. Don't say that. Why not? Somebody needs to say something that's relevant instead of covering up and being a hypocrite. Why not? If you're not doing your job, get out the way. See, but we still hung up on the Peter principle, putting somebody up up above everybody else who's not doing a thing and doesn't know what they're doing. Intellectualism and a retreat from politics. Now, George Bernard Shaw said this: stop trying to find yourself, start creating yourself. Stop, self-esteem, self-concept, self-esteem. The images, ideas, and feelings one has about oneself as perceived through others' eyes. You always looking to prove yourself to somebody else. Stop acting like you got some sense. Do you have some sense? Do you remember when your mother used to say, look here, act like you got some sense? Well, some of you are poor actors. Really. Start creating yourself. George Bernard Shaw said that. Stop trying to find yourself through others' eyes. Self-concept, images, ideas, and feelings one has about oneself as perceived through others' eyes, which leads into self-esteem, the value of worth one puts on oneself, and looking for approval from somebody else. No wonder you ain't doing nothing you're supposed to do. Because you're looking back to see somebody looking back to see if you're looking back to see. Jesus. Like Ray said, number followers. Where's leadership around here? We definitely don't have it. I was watching Channel 11, and one of these people, Kwame, I think it was, something says that young men don't walk around with guns. Where have you been? Come out the sky. Where have you been? Especially in Roseland. These kids carrying guns. Really, I hate to say it, to try and protect themselves, but at the same time shooting and missing, killing somebody else. When's it gonna stop? And you as a politician, bring your head out of the clouds, man. And that's what I'm getting at. You say a lot of things out your mouth because you're supposed to be a leader, but you don't know what you're talking about because you're not involved in the situation. You got 2 homes, one here in Chicago and one there in Springfield. What do you know? And we're paying for it. You don't like what I'm saying? Get with me. Oh yeah, by the way, I haven't forgot Cabrini Green, Barnett, Judas Goat. Remember what happened? You led your kids, your people, your flock to the slaughterhouse. Now there's not one person that originally lived in Cabrini Green that lives there. Because you know what? The Jewish development got nothing but condos there. And then when some kids tried to come back to play a little ball, they looked at those kids in utter disgust. You should be ashamed of yourself. And you of all people should know what's really going on. Remember, you got a partner, remember? Let's move on. Let's move on. You don't like what I'm saying? Call in. Or come on the show. Otherwise, just take it. Book of the week. Here's something for you, young people and older people. Techniques of study. 5 steps, folks, for your kid to really start studying in terms of getting to comprehension. Survey. Survey the information. Question the information. Read. And then recite. That means rehearse what you've read in terms of trying to retain that information. And then review. And this has to be done in a constant situation, repeatedly, in order to reach comprehension. 5 techniques. And that book was written by Clifford T. Morgan and James Deese. McGraw-Hill, 1969. Techniques of study. 5 steps. Survey, question, read, recite, and review. It goes to comprehension. But also, let me just say this. In terms of enhancing literacy, we have what they call literacy laden, where you can have comic books in your house and reading material rather than Spongehead Bob on TV. By the time a child's reached 19 years of age, they've logged in about over 100,000 hours of television time watching foolishness when they should be reading. And now with the internet, they'll tell them what they're doing because you don't know. You're not checking on them. You're really not. A kid can have a bazooka in his room and you wouldn't even know about it because if he has a room, because we got about 48,000 kids that are homeless. And why is that? You have to look to the parents. You have to look to the parents. I'm going to get to that too. Remember, 5 steps. Survey, question, read, recite, and review. And you know what? Parent, you need to be involved with that too. I've often watched when it came for time for parent pick up how many, pick up the report cards, folks, for those who have children. Some of you know because you go. But a lot of these people do not go to reinforce the position of education with their children. But they want everybody else to do everything for their child. You want a babysitter, some of you. You should be ashamed. Why you have children if you can't take care of them? But you know what? Your irresponsibility becomes our responsibility. Check that out. Your irresponsibility becomes our responsibility. Because we got to pick up the slack for you. Because you're somewhere getting high and can't deal with your children. And then when you do come to school, you have nothing to say. Because you know what? You got to reinforce what that child says because the child knows you got secrets that you don't want to be exposed. Jesus Christ. Man. Now, let's deal with some other issues. Let's deal with certain tests that your children take that you probably don't even know anything about, or what they're taking. If you should, let's go through some of them. In order to measure how well an individual has done in school, you use what kind of test? I'll read that again. And if you know, call in. In order to measure how well an individual has done in school, you use what? Hey, what kind of test would you use? Does anybody know? I'll tell you. It's called an achievement test. In order to measure how well an individual has done in school, you use what kind of test? It's called an achievement test, folks. Here's another one. Test of ability. Test of ability. What kind of test is that? Test of ability. It's called a power test. Power test. Excuse me. I'll go back over it. In order to measure how well an individual has done in school, you use what? An achievement test. Test of ability, that's a power test. Now here's another one. Abilities measured by tests fall into two general groups. Abilities measured by tests fall into two general groups. Intellectual and aptitude. Abilities measured by tests fall into two general groups. Intellectual and aptitude. What can you attain and retain? And how can you utilize it? Now this is one. You ever heard of the IQ? It's called intelligence quotient. What does it do? It measures a measure which can be done to compare children of different ages. See that? That's like a cultural test too. And a lot of times, this is what people have always said. You know, you're giving me a cultural test in terms of the IQ. It's what you know in terms of your culture. For instance, do my people know Brahms, Bach, Beethoven? The three B's? But we do know about B.B. King, Tupac, what's his name? Biggie Small. See? So when you ask, you know, when one culture asks another culture about certain things like Beethoven or Bach, a lot of people haven't dealt with that. You know, they're too busy dealing with other issues. You know, one culture likes classical, the other one likes pop culture. But you will hold somebody accountable if they don't know who Beethoven or Bach is. You know. Anyway, that's food for thought for some of us. Now, the IQ. At 100, anything below 100, they're looking at imbecilic, moron, or idiot. Anything above that, 100, now you're in the average range, and as you go up, you have organizations called Mensa, that deal with the gifted. Here's another one. Here's a question for you. Older people do as well as young people, young adults on tests or what? I'll read this again. Older people do as well as young adults on tests or what? What do older people do as well or better? What test? What test would that be? You know? Okay. Vocabulary. 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 See, we're walking around here with blinders on. You think you know, but do you really know? Here's something else about families. Where's it at? Where's it about families? Well, I don't have it. I had something that deals with families. Well, what it basically was saying is that a family a lot of times represents the society. For instance, if the people in your home aren't training you, and home training, we know, because what you do privately manifests itself publicly. In other words, if your child, as soon as that child walks over the threshold into the community, school, we get a beat on if that child's been home trained. You know how? By that way the child acts to situations and reacts to situations. If the child comes to school being abrasive and aggressive, then we have to check where that stem from, where they come from. So does the environment shape behavior? Does the environment shape behavior? Think about it. And a lot of times our children see the world from their family and therefore react to the world as such. Now, let me just say this. There are 5 areas of human development, of child development. One is cognitive, the way we perceive and deal with situations mentally. The other is physical. How you have to, in order to walk, you have to be able to crawl. Physically, how we develop well enough to be able to sustain life in the environment that we're in. Third, emotional. How do we react to situations, whether it be positive or negative? And that's very key. That's what gets you in jail or that saves your life, how you react. And then four, social development, how we interact with other beings. How do we interact? That's key, socialization. But let me tell you, out of all that, the 5th development is very key. You see it every day. Moral development. Look how our children act towards each other and society. Moral development, which is in decline, it's decaying. Because the children see every day what's going on in their little lives by what the adults and how they do. Look how our adults, in terms of being the alderman and being the president and all this, look how they acting. So a child, and then the child sees his father not working or his mother not working or the father's out of the home. He goes from being today's villain was yesterday's victim. You could be great if you start today. Tomorrow can be great if you start today. But look what's happening, and people talk about it, and nothing really is resolved. And we still in the same dilemma. But in the outer war, it said, it won't be the bullets. It'll be the sun, the moon, the wind, the birds, the animals, the river that will take care of you in terms of what you do. Because remember, for every action, there's an equal and corresponding, equal and opposite reaction. It's called your karma. And when your karma comes back to bite you in your butt, you'll see, because you see what's going on? Ray Charles can see this foolishness. Ray Charles, or Stevie Wonder. Every day, already you got 9 murders of our children in this town, and people, when somebody else says something about it, you want to get in an outrage. You need to shut up and try and fix what's going on. Yeah, people are going to talk about it because you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. And one of the things you're supposed to do is get proper leadership. We got a chance to get rid of some of these people that call themselves politicians. And you also need what you might call an elected school board. Elected. But what I notice, when people stand up in this town, they become, you want to be ostracized and also blackballed for telling the truth. That's a shame. But see, look here, people get on TV and start crying when they were exposed. Oh, I didn't know, and then pay people $5 million because they're getting ready to be reelected. So therefore they don't want any damage, it's called damage control. And what do? You just accept it. There's only 3 types of people. Either you're a critic, because you got something to say all the time, and nothing, you don't do anything about it. A spectator just watching, you're a spectator just looking around. But what about that player? The one that gets involved, the one that makes sure the change will be affected and affected. Affect the outcome, affect how we're influenced. Hey, I'm just a messenger. Trying to throw some stuff out. But you know what? A lot of times it seems as though people don't really care. They just keep moving from this place to that place. It's like a dog trying to bite its own tail, going around, 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 going nowhere. And where are you going? Where are you headed? Where's your child headed? you know, hey, I'm just one man trying to do a job. They tell me to wrap it up here. All right. So listen, if you feel as though you run out of rope, tie a knot and hang on. Everything's going to be okay. Thank you.